That is the hardest part of that ring.
For the hardest part of the ring.
Hello, everybody. Welcome
The hardest part of the ring.
Hello and welcome to episode number 12 of Hardest Part of the Ring, the podcast where four friends get together to discuss the wonder of professional wrestling. Episode number 12 in the 12th month of the year, and I'm joined by three guys with similar interests to most 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
Hello, Sam.
Hello, mate.
Hello, John.
Hey all.
And hello to Brett.
Hello.
Hello. How's it going?
Good.
Yeah, good.
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 You know, you said we're going for this end of term vibe.
Yeah?
I've brought Cluedo to play.
Oh,
Is that
lovely.
right?
Cool.
Yeah, that's fine by me.
Yeah, except for we can't really play it, so shall I just tell you who the person is?
Yeah, who is it?
Was it Baron Corbin in the ring?
No,
With the Deep Six.
afraid not. It was Spike Trivet with the champagne bottle in the audience.
Oh, nice.
Haha.
Brett,
Controversial.
have you pre-prepared a joke for the podcast?
I did. That's the first.
That's incredible.
That's the hardest part first.
Well done,
And
Brett.
that was the hardest part of the pod.
Just let all the listeners recover from all the laughing they're doing. Okay, good. So yeah, as Brett said, there is kind of going to be an end of term vibe. The last podcast we did was our Christmas special, which was number 11, the end of year quiz spectacular. Please go back and listen to that if you haven't already.
Or don't.
No,
Why not?
enjoy it.
Why not, Brett? Why not?
Drink it in, man.
Yeah. Let's forget it happened.
We've had quite a few people get in touch telling us how they did, including Carl Luckhurst, who literally about an hour ago got in touch to say that he was listening to the quiz whilst writing Christmas cards, and he got 9 out of 10 on the theme section.
So, collectively, if there's one thing that our listeners have achieved, it's that they've all scored higher than us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they all know a lot more than we do.
So, great job. We have really good listeners and really shit
Yeah.
podcasters.
The aim of the pod is to make people feel good about themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we
I
achieved
think-
that.
I
Oh,
think
in
we're
spades.
doing it.
Absolute
Yeah.
spades.
Yeah, so this is a review podcast, and if you've listened to ones in the past, we usually go quite in depth, match by match, talking about the pay-per-view we've just watched. We are going to talk about Clash of Champions, of course, but given that it was a pay-per-view that a lot of people weren't really that interested in, and it's the end of the year, and we've got some other stuff we want to include, we're going to try and keep it quite quick. So we're going to talk about that, then we're going to do a little mini annual review type thing where we answer a couple of questions, and then we've got a load of listener stories and things that various listeners have sent in to us over the last couple of weeks.
Cautionary tales of the wrestling world.
Yeah, kind of. We put a request out on social media for some highlights of the year, so we'll share some of those later on. So before we get into Clash of Champions, I guess we should probably just quickly touch on the big news at the moment coming from the WWE specifically, which is probably the announcement on Raw last night that there's going to be a women's Royal Rumble match in January.
Exciting.
Let's
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Maybe
Yeah.
a little bit overdue.
Yeah, probably. Although, I don't know when else they would be able to do it realistically.
Yeah.
Maybe last year would have been the perfect time, actually, with all the sort of press they were getting from the sort of women's division.
Yeah. Does anyone else feel like it's a little bit tinged by Stephanie McMahon kind of...
Making it all about her.
Yeah, kind of making that the biggest deal, and it's like, well, just fuck off a little bit.
Yeah,
She's a McMahon, though. That's what they do.
I guess.
She loves a speech. She loves mentioning the fabulous Moolah and Mae Young, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those. I think Moolah is quite a questionable character in the wrestling world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do
sketchy.
you reckon she's going to be surprised running?
Oh my god, that'd be amazing. Brian Panties
Very
match.
amazing. She's dead.
Could do like a 2-pack sort of hologram, though. That'd be cool. Probably a bit over the top for
Well,
Moolah, but
that would win, wouldn't it? Because no one could throw
oh yeah,
her over.
How do you throw a hologram out of the
Yeah.
ring? The
excellent
deep
point.
questions. I've got 2 questions, just off the top of your head. Who's going to be the surprise running, and who's going to win it?
I reckon surprise running entrant
Oh.
would be maybe like someone like Trish Stratus, maybe.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
really?
Lita.
Oh,
I think Lita is the likely candidate.
It's not going to
there.
be one of the 4 horsewomen, is it? The UFC ones.
I mean,
there's a good chance of that.
Ronda Rousey is obviously a high.
There's been
Yeah.
loads of reports going around recently from my sources that they're miles away from doing any sort of deal with Rousey.
Really? Got eyes on the octagon still.
Yeah. What? Impact?
Winner Asuka.
I was thinking maybe Nia Jax.
Yeah.
You know, they haven't yet given her a proper big push.
But
They keep
when,
teasing it.
when do like the big person that's always difficult to get out actually get to the end?
The second Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Was it Yokozuna?
Yeah.
I think he won it. I don't know actually.
Doesn't really
don't
happen now, does it? I mean, we
No.
would have thought that of Braun Strowman.
Although you say that, Big Show won the Andre the Giant Battle Royale a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys,
Sorry, we got
say a
off
name.
topic.
No, say a name, and we will come back to this when the Royal Rumble happens. And if any of you get it right, then it's 3 podcast points towards the next
Okay.
quiz.
Okay.
Big game. Okay.
3. Go on then. Who's your winner? I'm going to write this down.
Okay. James Ellsworth.
Oh God. I'm taking that. It could happen.
Cool.
You don't care about those 3 points. Brett, have you got a guess?
Well, seeing as he's dropped Asuka, I'm going to go for Asuka.
Oh, nicely stolen.
Yeah.
Okay, John, what do you reckon?
I'm going to go Bailey. I think she might need the push.
Bailey. Okay, I've written it down. That's
Cool.
it now. No going back.
Oh, what about you? Surely you can get some pod. Yeah. you could probably-
Oh no, that's true because I think
Yeah,
we decided I'm going to compete in
Yeah,
next
that's
year's
right.
quiz. Was that on or off the podcast? I think that was off the podcast. We decided that Sam, as the champ, is going to host the next quiz. It might be next Christmas, but we might decide to bring it forward and do one every few months or something. So
I mean, surely you could just take my podcast points.
yeah, oh yeah.
You're going
we'll
to get
see.
3 for James Ellsworth, so...
Well, I'm going to go for Nia Jax, like I said. So
All right. Predictions are... They're on the record now. That's it.
yeah, that is it. That briefcase is mine. That lunchbox, which is
That
actually still.
briefcase is still yours.
Yeah, it's still. It's actually right in front of me. I need to post it to you. Anyway, we should move on. So, should we talk about Clash of Champions?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, do it.
Oh, face first into the apron of the ring. There's very little padding there. A dangerous area. It's not wrestler friendly, I can tell you.
So, Clash of Champions, of course, the Smackdown pay-per-view that happened in Boston at the
Smackdown extended episode.
Yeah, that's probably more accurate. It happened at the TD Garden, which is quite a weird
Yeah.
name. Weird
The
name for
crowd
a
were
for a
hot
venue.
for this pay-per-view.
Yeah, they
They
were.
were really good. I thought they kind of made it.
Bit quiet at the end. Yeah, last match, I thought.
Yeah.
But throughout, yeah, they were really good. To be fair, I think this pay-per-view was really good.
Okay, yeah.
And that's our review of Clash of Champions.
Yeah, there we go. Thanks. Make sure you tune in next time for more insightful knowledge.
Yeah. I was actually quite excited when I started watching this, and I think it's because I've taken the last couple of weeks off watching SmackDown and Raw properly. Like, I've watched a little bit and I've read reviews and things, but because I haven't watched much WWE, I was up for it when it started. And then I saw that the first match was Corbin, Ziggler and Rude. But anyway, we can get to that in a second. I have got a question, though. This is bad because I've literally just talked about podcast points, but there's another one up for grab. Up for grab.
You're going
'cause it's-
crazy
'cause
with
it's a
power
singular
here.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clash of Champions. When was the first ever Clash of Champions?
3 years ago.
No. Sam?
2002.
No. Brett?
All right, 98.
No. The first ever Clash of Champions was 2016, last year.
Oh.
Because
Huh.
before that, it was called Night of Champions.
Well, that was a trick question, wasn't it, Adam?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I was happy with that one. That's why I kept it in. Before it was called Night of Champions, it was called Vengeance Night of Champions.
Hang on, Vengeance.
And then
that sounds
yeah.
familiar.
Yeah. And then before that, it was just called Vengeance, and it started in 2001.
You mean there was a pay-per-view called Vengeance?
Yeah. You can't get points now. It's not the quiz anymore.
Yeah, but I thought there had never had been one. You made me feel like that was totally out of the blue.
It went away.
It just went away. It changed name.
Yeah.
It just wasn't this year, Brett.
It wasn't this year, but it existed.
You didn't watch Vengeance this year.
No.
It was 16 years ago.
Still fresh in the memory, though.
Yeah.
That Big Show match was probably great.
There was a Kane main event.
It's going to be the Rumble.
Back to this then, the second ever Clash of Champions. Pre-show, Mojo Rawley beat Zack Ryder. We're just going to totally skip that, I think, because we're going to fly through it a little bit. First match, as I mentioned, was the United States Championship match, a triple threat between Bobby Roode, Dolph Ziggler, and Baron Corbin.
Brett's favourite, Baron Corbin.
Yeah, I don't know if we've made that clear yet on the podcast.
I don't think you have yet.
Highlight, Corbin taking his shirt off.
Always a lovely addition to any wrestling match. To see that slightly bemused face on his belly button.
I think I've started to put together. You know how he started shouting at the crowd quite a lot in his matches?
Yeah.
Do you reckon that sound was actually coming from his belly button? He's a bit like Krang.
It could be.
This was a really good match, actually.
Yeah, I agree. I loved this match. I thought the pace was great.
This is amazing because I don't think much of any of these wrestlers.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they all put on a real good show. I really enjoyed it a lot.
I think your
Fight me.
expectations were so low that you've been confused by it and therefore think it was great.
I don't know. I think it gave everyone to sort of go up to their strengths. You know, Ziggler bumped like a champ. Corbin has some big, strong moves. Roode was there.
Okay, so with Bobby Roode...
You're going to big up Baron Corbin and then, diss Bobby Roode.
Hey, Corbin's future champ, mate. Come on. WrestleMania.
I think this was Bobby Roode's strongest match in WWE to date.
Like main roster or...
Both, main roster and NXT.
Oh, no, that match with McIntyre and NXT was great.
Yeah, and he had that. Wasn't he a fatal four-way with three other wrestlers? Oh God,
Survivor Series, was it?
Guys, Phil.
He did wrestling stuff.
Yeah, you guys crack on.
What I've realised with Bobby Roode though is that I don't think he excels in any area.
He's solid.
He's kind of he's like a really good all-rounder at everything he does, but it's a little bit boring, but at the same time good. I think he's going to be a perpetual mid-carder, I reckon.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's really over the crowd, though.
Yeah.
He is. I think that's really strange, actually.
Yeah, he was totally over, wasn't he?
It's the entrance, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
it
think
could
it
be.
works as a face.
No, agreed. Yeah.
I think it was a good wrestling match, wasn't it? Whereas with a lot of the other matches, there were a lot of gimmicks and stipulations and things. They actually had some time to do some good wrestling. And I know that sounds like a silly comment to make in a way, but I thought there were some pretty cool spots, particularly the end of days into the zigzag.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
that
love
was-
this ending spot. I thought that was done really well.
They've done that before, though, haven't they? I think.
Have they?
Yeah, I think on Smackdown. But it was good. It's still a great spot.
There's the benefit of not watching Smackdown. Just coming in fresh.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not sure I like Dolph Ziggler's kind of old-timey record wipe of his music. It's kind of...
I know. I thought that there's no need to have that effect, is there?
No.
It's so audaciously poor, and it's like, what?
I just wish it was no music at all, not even the intro a little bit.
They want to make it obvious that he's got no music rather than just giving him no music. They're like, here's the music. Look, scratch, no music.
You know what? If that's what they're going with him, dress him up like fucking Stone Cold or Shibata. Have him come out in just black trunks, no music, just...
I said this. I think he doesn't have to go with trunks, but with his just black, no graphics on the sides, black boots and kick pads, and just come out.
Sometimes I love Ziggler, sometimes I hate him. He can feel a bit like a novelty act, sort of like lead paint Zeppelin or something like that. You see some shitty Bauer. But other times, it really I think he was great in this match. I mean, he is a great worker.
I think when he's taken the belt off Baron Corbin, I think he's great.
Yeah, you love it.
Shocking though, wasn't it? Like, it felt like he was in this match just to take the pin.
But you say that, but do you think they've given him the belt because he's come out and said that he's looking at other opportunities in New Japan and stuff?
Oh, has he? I've not seen that.
No.
He's been on the old Twitch sphere.
I don't think WWE would fall to that sort of stuff, would they?
I don't think they'd care.
No.
I don't think they'd fall for it. They're just like, sure, Dolph.
Yeah.
You'll definitely get a match in Japan.
You've stuck around this long.
He would clean up over there, I think.
I think he'd do well out on the Indies. But I also thought that about Damien Sandow, and who knows where he is.
Yeah, I think it's good. He has gone a bit stale recently, hasn't he? Which is why it was so surprising, really, that they gave him the belt. I thought Rude was going to win it.
Yeah.
Before the match,
Corbin
if anyone.
was going to defend successfully.
Yeah, why do you think they keep doing this to Corbin? Like, they keep... I mean, I'm enjoying it, but, like, they keep giving him something, and then just, like, he loses it immediately.
Yeah.
But I think they're trying to actually develop that as his character. I think they're trying to develop him as a bottler. They're trying to make him the Spurs of wrestling. And...
Can you say that anymore?
There goes our North London listeners.
Yeah. Well, half of the North London listeners.
The other half love me now. No, I like the interviews where they keep asking him about all this stuff, and he keeps like chucking bins and throwing tantrums. That's kind of it's cool.
That was a bit whiny though.
Yeah, that's fine though. Whiny is personality. You know, it's better than a stoic 7-foot man. We don't need another one of those.
It's true. Right,
Also,
let's move on. Let's move on.
Okay, fine.
No, John, I feel like this is going to be a solid gold point.
I was just going to say the Deep Six is a great move. That's it.
Stupid name.
Solid gold. So the next match was the Smackdown Tag Team Championship match, a fatal four-way between Rusev and Aiden English, Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable, the New Day, and the Usos.
Match of the night.
Yeah.
Happy Rusev Day.
Happy Rusev Day.
And a happy
He's
Rusev.
so over, isn't he? Jesus.
That's brilliant. I'm loving it so much. Like, you know how every single podcast we always say Rusev deserves better?
Yeah.
Rusev is finally getting better.
Like, it's happening.
He
He's
seemed
finally getting
genuinely like enjoyed by the sort of crowd reaction he was getting.
He was. That was so cool, wasn't it?
Yeah,
he was
it was
so
lovely.
happy.
Yeah.
Oh, I really liked Aiden English was fantastic as well.
That song was amazing. 12
Days of
Rusev.
Rusev were brilliant.
Yeah.
It's just
That was kind of cool because that linked a bit to the Rock singing the 12 Days of
really
Christmas that we
did.
had on the last podcast. It was really cool.
Smackdown, they have a really good history of actually just creating bizarre tag teams recently that just resonate with the fans.
That work out.
They've done it a couple of times now, and it's
Heath
just
Slater,
nice to
Rhino.
see.
Oh, yeah.
They could well end up
may-
going the same way, unfortunately. But if they have their moment in the sun, maybe win the belts at some point.
Yeah. It's just great to see. I love seeing Rusev getting kind of the recognition he deserves.
Yeah, it was great. I loved it when the New Day came out and Corey Graves said the fact that Big E is out here wearing Christmas colours on Rusev Day is blasphemous.
I like the New Day, not the New Day, sorry. I like the Usos rendition of 12 Days as well. I think
Yeah, that was good.
I'm starting to come around
great.
to your way of thinking, John. I think Usos possibly best tag team in the world at the moment.
Yeah, well, I'm happy to hear suggestions of other tag teams that are better than them, but
I mean, you're always going to have like the Young Bucks and stuff, but I'm loving the Usos at the moment as well. I think they're just smashing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are. And in fact, I mean, Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable maybe aren't doing as well as expected, but they're both good. And all four teams
Chad Gable,
were great.
Chad Gable's suplex on Aiden English.
Yeah.
I mean that
on-
whole
my God.
sequence with the
On
Germans was-
Rusev as well.
Yeah, incredible.
He's a freak. He is. He doesn't seem to struggle with lifting anyone up.
He's such a talent. That guy, such a talent.
That was like moment of the night.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen some people saying how it was a bit odd how, as for a fatal four-way with tag teams, to have four competitors in the ring at any one time. It's not usually what they do.
Yeah.
And how at the start it was kind of weird the way they had sort of two pairs wrestling and then they'd only interact if there was going to be a pin.
But I mean,
Yeah.
it's the same company that just did War Games, so
Yeah, but I didn't think that at all. I actually loved this match. I really, really loved it. I thought it was brilliant.
Me too.
There were
I mean,
so
this
many
was
big moments.
easily my favourite match of the night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rusev was just incredible. He did a match kick at one point, which
Yeah.
all of his kicks looked amazing. They had that little thing, the dynamic between the Usos and the New Day, the sort of respect between them after their feud.
Yeah,
Loads of cool
the
stuff.
Usos New Day sort of respect thing was quite nice, sort of
Yeah.
continuing that story of that feud.
Yeah, that'll go on.
It just felt like everyone really brought their A game to this match.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. It's one of my favourite matches.
A lot of
in the
talent.
WWE pay-per-view. Yeah.
Yeah, just fantastic stuff. Enjoyed it.
Good. Let's move on before we sully it or spoil it in some way. Smackdown Women's Championship. This was between Charlotte and Natalya in a lumberjack match. What do you think about the lumberjack aspect? It was a mess, wasn't it?
I can't believe
terrible.
they all got an entrance.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, most of this pay-per-view felt like entrances. Like, the match before had a lot of long entrances. This one, the lumberjacks had an entrance
Yeah. I was so convinced that this was going to be the cash-in night. It just seemed like a perfect opportunity with the lumberjacks and everything.
It got teased.
Yeah.
It got teased.
And I just thought,
Definitely
when
teased.
she rolled in that ring, I did actually pop, and I was like, yes, this is great. Go on, do it. And then she didn't, and I was just like, oh.
Well,
what an
Ruby Riott got
opportunity.
in the way, didn't she?
It was just, that was the perfect opportunity for Carmella to do it. And I know, probably Carmella, it's not the right time for her to be champion, but she's got to cash that briefcase in sometime. And, that's a real good heel move in a lumberjack match that we wouldn't have seen before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like they've really wasted that Money in the Bank.
Yeah, and
They haven't
the fact that
developed
they've
her
teased
at all.
it,
No.
it's a shame.
Don't you think that whenever she does actually cash it in, she's not gonna win? She's not gonna get.
She's going to do a Baron Corbin, isn't
Yeah.
she?
Yeah, I think so.
But
It's
that's
just
because
weird.
they've done nothing with her, as you say, John. I don't think there's been any progression.
No.
I can't remember a singles match she's had since she won.
No,
No.
me either. I do think that was the only time, though, when the lumberjacks thing sort of worked, having Ruby Riott jump in and stop that happening. But apart from that, it was just really weird. The way they'd sort of beat up Charlotte, but then pick her up and put her back in the ring.
Yeah.
And the way that they were all heels, except for Naomi. There's just Naomi.
As well, with SmackDown and Raw both mirroring each other with these three women tag teams kind of coming to their respective brands and stuff. It's really odd.
Yeah.
Well, we know why, obviously, but
Well, yeah, of course, but I don't understand why you would do it so blatantly, kind of mirroring itself.
at the same time, it is a bit odd.
Yeah,
It is a bit
why not
odd.
have a three-person tag team come to one and then just three random call-ups for
Yeah.
the other?
It sort of lessens the impact, doesn't it, a little bit?
Yeah, I don't understand what Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan are kind of why they're even
What they have in common.
There's no consistency between them, is there?
No.
At least with the other two coming up with Paige, that's kind of here's our veteran to kind of guide us and mentor kind of figure. It works. So I don't really understand the Riot Squad.
No,
It was-
agreed.
What do you think about Natalya's bizarre crying at the end?
Oh, that was weird. That whole ending was really weird.
They've got form for this, don't they? It was like the not Nikki Bella.
The Mickey James retirement, but not
yeah.
retirement.
It's exactly the same. It felt exactly like that. Is she retiring?
Yeah.
Yeah, but not with all those boos.
But it was almost like she was trying to turn heel, even though she'd forgotten she was already a heel, having a go at the whole crowd. So I saw some people said, they're trying to pull a Bret Hart by turning her back on all the fans, but
Are we going to see her on WCW?
they already knew, she's a heel already. It's weird, so weird. And then the crying. I mean, some people are good at fake crying. I'm not. And, actors who can do it, respect to them. Natalya is one of those people who cannot do it. She just scrunched up her face. It looked very weird.
Yeah, she's really bad on mic generally, though, I think. Natalya.
I'm
she
really
is.
not a fan of Natalya at all. I don't think she would be there if it wasn't for her name.
Yeah.
And I feel kind of bad about that as well.
I think
I think she actually loves the business.
Yeah.
I do think that.
I think she's definitely better than a good number of people in the ring, in the wrestling. I know she's like we've said, I think how she does the moves isn't the most great looking, but she's got a repertoire there, which most, quite a lot don't.
Yeah.
But I think that's changing now. I think more, now they're getting loads of talent in there that are able to mix it up with anyone. So it's definitely showing now.
She's got a huge amount of respect in the dressing room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She absolutely strikes me as someone who would make a really good trainer. in
Yeah.
the locker room, but I just don't buy her in the ring.
One last thing with this. Sorry, Charlotte took one hell of a beating in this match.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Like, this match felt very similar to the AJ Jinder, where it was like, this is the end of the feud, but we're going to give the losers a bit of a send-off, make them look strong, make them have loads of offense in.
Yeah.
It was a good match. It was okay match. It's weird, but it's okay.
It was better than the next match.
It wasn't great, but yeah, better than the next match, which was Breezango versus Harper, Rowan, the Bludgeon Brothers.
Were you waiting for one of us to step in there?
Yeah, I sort of didn't know what I was doing. I didn't plan to do that, but
I wanted to, and then I thought, you know what? This is better that you swim on your own.
yeah, damn.
I can't go
I'm never
down
doing that
with you
again.
on that road.
How do you guys feel about the fact that Harper and Rowan no longer have first names in the classic WWE?
Yeah,
style?
I mean, this just feels like it's the end of the beginning.
Or the beginning of the end.
Yes. Okay, next match was the tag match. I am literally going to move on because,
Yeah.
We shouldn't spend more time talking about a match that took 1 minute 58 seconds.
Exactly. The tag match was next. The Owens and Zayn versus Orton and Nakamura with special guest referees Shane O'Mac and Daniel Bryan. Of course, Owens and Zayn's careers were on the line for this match. If they lost, they would have to leave not only SmackDown, but the whole of the WWE. But one question I had, when Nakamura was coming in, I thought, do you guys think that wrestlers ever get bored of doing their entrances?
Yeah.
I just think with like Nakamura, and there are a few that take quite a while, and they're exactly the same. I
got that impression about Roman Reigns for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever he was coming in, and the camera would do like a close-up pan of his face, and he'd kind of look over the crowd, and there would just be an expression of his face of like, still booing.
Yeah. I think if you have like 20,000 people booing you, it's going to make you question your life choices.
Yeah. They're still all singing along to Nakamura's, aren't they? So
yeah,
I think he's probably still enjoying that moment.
What I loved when Orton came out though is like he literally woke up 5 minutes ago. Did a couple of squats. Right, I'm ready. I'm good to go, lads. Let's go.
Man's got hair, so now he's allowed bedhead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what is going on? He doesn't look as hard anymore, does he, at all? He just looks like a normal, nice guy, short back and sides. It's like somebody's accidentally edited him in 2K18 and just added generic hair 1, and now he's stuck with it.
Yeah.
It looks silly.
Yeah.
Speaking of silly, this match was silly.
Oh yeah, it was weird again, wasn't it?
This match felt like it belonged on SmackDown more than any other match on the card.
Well, this match was all about the ref, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like the match itself felt very like a sideshow to it.
Yeah, I thought it was like initially I was like, wow, this match is pretty terrible and just clunky. But I think as it went on, I was watching like the ref part, and actually I thought the story to that was the interesting bit. The match itself may have just not been there.
So for me, there was only one way this match was going to be redeemed, and that was if Daniel Bryan actually
got physical.
I
think that's. I was looking forward to that so much. Like maybe it happens today.
Yeah, I think that's what we were all expecting as well at the end, wasn't it? I was like, I'm expecting Bryan to throw down.
You got to be honest. I'm sure all four of us were actually thinking it was going to happen, and that's why. Yeah, I got really excited at the time.
Yeah,
that would have been huge.
It would.
Although, if Daniel Bryan comes back for a match against Shane McMahon, I think I might stop watching WWE. That's it.
Shane McMahon has fallen into the same trap that every McMahon falls into, which is be on TV a bit too long, overstay their welcome a little too long, and now they're getting involved in every main event of every pay-per-view, and it's a little bit like, just back off.
Yeah,
he definitely needs to back off a bit. Yeah, he definitely does.
Yeah.
I think, as Brett sort of mentioned, it was really well done. I mean, if you can get away from the fact that there wasn't really much wrestling and that the authority figures have shoved themselves in the limelight again, then they actually dealt with it really well. And the whole thing with the 2 count and then the quick 3 count was really cool, and especially with Shane O'Mac sliding in and not getting there on time.
Yeah,
I thought
it was
they dealt with it really well.
choreographed. It really was. It just
what Shane does is like in those aspects. I do think like perhaps it is missing with some of the wrestlers. So probably why he is outstaying his welcome a bit. To give like the people that are as great as Kevin Owen are to bounce off on that story side of things rather than. But at the same time, if he keeps going in matches, then it's just dire.
Yeah, I think now is the point where Shane needs to just take a clean break from this whole side of the story and just let the wrestlers do the wrestling.
Well, I mean, what is the story if it's not Shane O'Mac versus Daniel Bryan?
Yeah.
Well, we've got a message on Twitter from Dom Richards who said the ending of the tag match was really well done. Sets up a Bryan Shane program nicely with Bryan doing what he thought was best, but how dare he cross a McMahon? And the little bump Bryan took. Could this be a hint at a return?
What little bump did he take when Kevin Owens sort of bumped into him?
When he pushed him over onto the back of Shane.
You laugh, but like I remember him saying in interviews like a year ago, he's literally not allowed in a ring.
Yeah, I don't think it will happen at WWE. They just won't let it happen.
I think they will. I think there's so much
now.
money in it.
I think this is them doing it.
I think they're just going to keep teasing it.
What I would give for a Royal Rumble number 30.
I mean, that's a good shout. I mean,
oh my God, that could happen. I've just said it definitely won't happen. And now I'm saying it could happen.
There's the flip flop.
Yeah, that's my role.
Lined it all up once again for us to get all hyped up for the Royal Rumble, so that when we record in about a month's time, we can all be, well, that was disappointing.
Yeah, number 30, Roman Reigns.
Yeah. After he'd been eliminated at 15 or something like that.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, I reckon we should move on. But it was lots of fun. That's basically what we're saying.
Actually, did anyone notice when Orton came out, there's a kid in the front row with a sign that said, "I bleed blue."
Yeah, I did.
Which I thought was a bit strong.
It's like a Smackdown. Yeah.
Wow.
We were talking about this, weren't we? This is what Sam was referring to when we're doing the Survivor Series pods, saying, surely people don't actually favour one of the brands, but that kid really does.
Yeah, he really, really does.
Yeah.
Wow.
Incredible.
I didn't even clock that was a Smackdown reference. I thought that was some kind of political leaning. And then... Wow.
So next up was the final match of the night, the WWE Championship match between Jinder Mahal and AJ Styles. Sorry, Jinder Mahal, a.k.a. Sam?
The modern day Maharaja.
Nice. That was
Incredible.
good.
Still got it. Is Jinder's music, has it changed? Or am I going mad? I replayed it a couple of times thinking it changed.
I mean, judging from the quiz, I'm not great at getting music.
Did not notice.
Yeah, okay, actually you're right. I shouldn't have asked you. I should ask Carl. Carl,
Carl
got 9 out of 10.
Yeah, Carl, can you reach out?
Yeah.
So, can I just say about this match? I saw one thing about Clash of Champions on Twitter, and that sort of ruined or made this match very weird watching for me.
I think I might have seen the same thing where it said weird title change and it had a picture of Jinder Mahal.
No.
What was it?
So it's, we've talked about Jinder Mahal and his concrete physique before.
Oh, I was going to bring this up actually. Yes,
it's his puffy nipples.
What the hell is going on there?
Okay. Oh my God.
So this totally ruined like a good first half of the match because I was just trying to.
Because can I just say, because you've done this to us, can you please explain to the listeners what picture you've just sent to us?
So
in great detail.
There's a picture on Twitter, a freeze frame from the match of Jinder Mahal being kicked, making a weird face, and he's got what looks like the start of boobs, not pecs, but boobs on a very puffy, sticky out nipple.
Oh.
He's definitely not as ripped as he was at the start of his
Hold on, look. Below, there's a guy who's made a comment who said it's called gynecomastia. Basically, when you abuse steroids or don't use them properly, testosterone levels drop rapidly and estrogen skyrockets, causing puffy breast tissue to develop. Lol. And then the guy underneath, Rovert, says, "I bitch tits."
I mean, this is Twitter, so yeah.
He had really good credibility all the way up until LOL.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just take him that he's talking the truth, and
It's on the internet. It must be true.
I mean, during this match, someone in the crowd actually shouted something about steroids.
They did.
Yeah.
The guy in an Austin 316 t-shirt. You could actually see who it was as well.
Oh wow, I missed that.
What did he shout? I missed this.
I don't remember what exactly, but all we could hear was like steroids.
Yeah. He was right by the announcer's table, so I think that's why it got
Picked up.
totally picked up.
Oh man. Nice.
Poor old Jinder.
So yeah, how'd you move on from that?
Yeah. So the match itself, should we talk a bit about that? How about at the start, when Jinder chucked Styles into that bit of steel fencing?
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
looked so painful. It's almost as if Jinder sort of was supposed to let go of him a bit sooner, so he'd have a bit of time to adjust and get over it.
It's almost
I
like
don't know if
Jinder
that's
is
true.
stronger than he should be, as if he's been abusing some kind of drug or something.
Yeah.
I don't think Jinder has been abusing.
You don't think Jinder jacks?
No, because I mean, if WWE would have pulled up Roman Reigns, their chosen one, for it, why would they not do the same for Jinder? Why would they be
waiting for
protecting
this?
him?
Because they've had this big India
They'll-
push.
Yeah, they'll do
Yeah,
it
but
afterwards.
is that more important than Roman Reigns?
They'll do it eventually. You watch, it'll come out after he disappears from the title run in this bit, then they'll put him up on it.
I just think he must be. There's no way he looks like that.
Yeah, it looks weird.
I agree. It's not a particularly natural look. But
And this is coming from a man with incredibly puffy
I
nipples.
reckon I am literally just 5 more stomach crunches a day off that physique.
Wow.
Nice. Yeah.
Right, that's thrown me.
I actually thought this was a half decent match, and I think that's,
Yeah.
as always, down to AJ Styles selling anything like a champ.
Do you know what? I think it's like 80% that, but I think Jinder has improved. There's no doubt.
He's definitely improved. But
Yeah.
I feel it kind of sucked the life out of the crowd a bit because he got so much offense in, and the crowd didn't really
Yeah.
care about that.
I think I'm just not a big fan of Jinder's wrestling. I actually kind of like his character, but I don't like... It seems to me like a lot of his wrestling is just kind of violently throwing people around. There's no kind of... It doesn't feel like there's much art or technique to it. It just kind of feels like grab, throw, repeat.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what you want from that guy, though. Look at the way he looks.
Yeah. Did he go to the top turnbuckle? Was it the second buckle a couple of
I
times
think
with a
middle
really
row.
lame?
Yeah.
I don't even know what it was.
Wasn't quite a double axe
No,
handle.
no,
but-
it wasn't. It wasn't a clothesline. It was just sort of a half punchy thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just... I don't think I'm on the Jinder train.
No, but I mean, the positives are this feels like the end of Jinder as
Yes.
the main.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
makes me wonder even more. Where does he go from here?
I think he could be like a good mid card. He's a big guy. He's got a good look. And now he's got a good character at least.
Feuding with Ziggler?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, this run hasn't been great, and it's kind of sucked the life out of SmackDown for the last 6 months.
Yes.
But positive-wise, WWE had a guy of Indian descent as their fucking champion. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
they
mean,
started
totally
off really good with that. They did
shoehorned in, but yeah.
sort of get to a point where he then started making fairly racist comments about Nakamura.
Okay, yeah, okay.
But yeah, I see your point. Fair point.
And the good thing is AJ Styles is now champion.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
there's 4 massive AJ marks. I think we're all going to be pretty happy about that.
So, one other theory with Jinder, he is the Benjamin Button wrestler, and he is now going to go down to the US title. He's then going to go down further than that to like an entry level, and then he'll rock up on NXT, and then
And then
keep
we'll
going
see him
backwards.
we'll see him at Riptide in a couple of months.
Yeah,
Imagine.
fantastic.
I think
Imagine
Impact
that.
would be a good shout, actually.
Guys, no, we get to see those puffy nipples up close at Riptide. I'd love that.
I think as soon as he's out of WWE, he'll be ripping those steroids, though, won't he?
Yeah. It'll be like the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah,
Absolutely enormous.
Scott Steiner style.
Soon he'll be on Twitter making comments like Ryback.
Something we can all hope for.
I did make one note about Styles. Obviously, as Brett mentioned, how he is amazing at making the opponent look good right at the beginning. Jinder did hit him with an elbow around the head, and instead of just going down straight away, like I reckon a lot of wrestlers would, he sort of scuttled into the corner of the ring, and it just makes it look so much better, I think, and it sort of set the tone for the match and made Jinder look a lot more dangerous than he would have if he'd just gone straight down. He's just such a pro at
I thought he actually and it was, as you say, maybe too one-sided on the wrong side, but he made, just like he did with Brock, he made Jinder look like a monster at times, when we know he's not that.
We all know Jinder made Jinder look like a monster.
Yeah, Jinder's 2 best matches have been both the AJ Styles ones, so it's not a coincidence.
I mean, it was always a mistake sort of pairing off with Orton, though, at the beginning, wasn't it? No one's going to be into that feud.
No, that was, you need someone of quality on the other side to really elevate it.
Yes, okay. So there we go. So Clash of Champions. One thing I did like about it was the fact that it was only sort of 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 45 minutes. It felt not as much of a drag as some of the others do.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 5 matches.
Yeah, it was nice, sort of a bit more snappy, and I think, like we said earlier, not the best pay-per-view in terms of wrestling necessarily, but I thought it was good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I went in with 0 expectations, came out with a couple of good matches.
Yes, exactly.
I agree with that. Some terrible, couple of good.
Yeah,
Those 2 matches were great, I think. Really
that Fatal 4-Way, the tag teams, I loved.
Yeah.
Like, I actually really loved.
Those first 2 matches were brilliant. I just think everything beyond that was a little bit Smackdown.
Yeah, my favourite match was actually the first match, the Rude Ziggler Corbin.
Yeah,
wow.
A lot of people have said that.
Wow. Can we call John the Baron Corbin fan now?
I'll take that.
Yeah, he wants it.
I mean, I feel like we're all Baron Corbin fans, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I can't wait until he's headlining a pay-per-view and Brett has to draw him.
Oh.
And then you can draw him topless. At least that's quite easy. Just stick an emoji on there.
I
do the
literally will do a face.
Okay, Clash of Champions reviewed to an extent. Kinda.
Boom! Tyler Breeze, face first. That's a ring apron rhinoplasty.
Right, so for the second half of the podcast, or the second third, should I say, we thought we would do a quick annual review and have a little look back at 2017 and some of our highlights and things like that. Obviously, at this time of year, a lot of people have been putting together their match of the year lists, and we've decided that rather than adding to the many podcasts who have done that recently, we're going to wait until just before WrestleMania, and we're going to sort of treat our year the same way that WWE do, and look back at matches from WrestleMania to WrestleMania. So the Match of the Year pod will come in March. For now, though, we're going to talk about 4 subjects. We're going to take it in turns, and the first thing we're going to look at is our favourite feud from the year. Anybody particularly keen to kick off?
Well, I can go with some that we've already mentioned, people that we've mentioned in this pod. And actually, when I was looking at it, for me, it's the Usos versus the New Day. I think for matches, for storyline, for longevity, and it feels like it can still go on further. I just thought that, they were great. And I think it helped elevate the Usos because I don't know how much we'd heard them on the mic like that before either. So I think they picked up their game outside of the ring as well.
Strong.
Yeah, it's also a feud that's been going on for ages as well.
I feel like maybe it went on a little bit too long.
I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't get bored of it.
Yeah. I feel like we should feel like that, because any other feud that went on that long we'd be really annoyed with, but...
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt about Dean Ambrose, The Miz.
Yes.
I mean, I felt like that after the first match.
But yeah, plus I went for that because I was thinking of other stuff, and I just thought, the only other thing that came to mind, but it's only just getting started, is Eddie Dennis, Mark Andrews.
Oh, right, on Progress.
Yeah, but that's literally just, I think, in the early days, so it's not really there yet.
Yeah, that is good. Sam?
So, my feuds of the year, I've got 2 written down here. In New Japan, I loved Toru Yano versus Minoru Suzuki for the last few months.
Yeah.
Do you know about this, Adam?
No. I don't know much about New Japan, so enlighten me.
Toru Yano is, for all intents and purposes, a joke wrestler. He comes in, he uses sellotape, he takes the turnbuckles off, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Minoru Suzuki is the most serious, scary man probably on the planet.
Yep, agreed.
And yet somehow Suzuki keeps putting Toru Yano over, losing to all of these stupid results. Toru Yano has tied him up with sellotape. He's stolen the title belt from him. He's done all kinds of stupid shit. And these two just sell it like nothing else. They are so funny.
Do. He just ran off with the belt once, didn't he?
Yeah,
he didn't even win it. I think he just ran off.
Yeah, he just nicked it.
Was Yano in the match on Global Wars with Damien Dunn with the DVD, the exploding DVD?
Yes,
with Goto as well.
Okay, that makes sense.
I love these two as wrestlers, and the best part is every single time Suzuki loses, he then goes apeshit with a chair on all of the young lions around the ring.
That is the best moment of the Lee Suzuki match. I love that bit so
good.
much. Because they take some crazy bumps, those young lions, because he wails on them.
Yeah. So I've absolutely loved this feud. Going back to WWE, my feud of the year was actually Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar.
Yes, that was very good.
Yeah.
So it was quite short-lived, but the build up to Great Balls of Fire was really good. I felt like they really treated both stars like athletes, like proper kind of. This was actually going to be a fight.
That was when they had all those interviews in cupboards, didn't they?
Exactly, and both of them just did it really well. I felt like the match delivered. It was a shame it ended the way it did, but I kind of felt like it was built really well, nicely, and kind of. For a short form kind of feud, I think it did its job really well.
Yeah, it's one of those feuds where you can tell Brock is actually invested, Yeah, it sort of brought his A game to it. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Nice. John?
Yeah, so I think my favourite feud in WWE was, it sort of had that classic good versus evil and sort of used two underutilised performers. It was Jamie Noble versus the Ambulance Door for Great Balls of Fire. I mean, we just saw a glimpse of it at Great Balls of Fire, but I think they can really build on that. Maybe Jamie Noble could work his way up through different types of doors, and then the blow-off match could be sort of like a bolt cutters on a pole match with the Ambulance Door. Be great.
Oh my god, great idea!
Yeah, I was about to ask what would be his entrance, but it's obviously the Ambulance Door.
Yeah, nice.
Also, just honourable mention: Aleister Black versus Velveteen Dream.
You bastard!
Yes.
This is mine. This is my pick.
Yes, forgot about that.
I wondered if anybody else was going to say this one. Have you got more to say on that, John, or can I?
No, you go for
go on about it. Okay, I've got about an hour's worth of material. Yeah, I thought this was some of the best storytelling I've seen in recent years. Obviously, the way that they built the feud, but also the match itself. Obviously, a bit of history. It was all based around Velveteen Dream's attempts to gain acknowledgement from Aleister Black and to get him to say his name. And he was interrupting Black's matches and basically sort of stalking him on the NXT tapings. And then when it all came together, came to a head at TakeOver, two of the best entrances. Well, one of the best entrances in terms of Black coming out with the live band, and then Dream coming out with the Rick Rude style airbrush tights. That was really cool. And I mean, I won't talk about the match in detail because I get a feeling it may well come up in the discussions in March. But it just had everything. And then it had that great thing where even though Velveteen Dream lost, he went over massively, and both wrestlers came out looking great, and the crowd were chanting for him, and Black said his name, and he got what he wanted.
Aleister Black is a shining example of how stoic wrestlers should be. I think kind of it's really hard to actually pull off. Yeah. Like, you come across so boring a lot of the time if you're a stoic wrestler and you don't know how to use a mic or whatever. And Aleister Black, when he talks, people listen. It's just great. It works so well.
There's a lot about NXT, which reminds me of a lot of ECW in its prime, where they just know how to get the most out of their performers, like build to their strengths, hide their weaknesses so well.
Yeah, I mean, even in Aleister Black's recent match with Adam Cole on NXT, again, just really good storytelling.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we'll move along. Next subject, biggest pop. So when did you pop hardest?
That's such a strange sentence.
Oh dear. When did you pop hardest this year?
Can I go on this one?
Go.
Do you want to go first again?
Did I go first?
Brett
I
went
went
first.
Sam can
Sorry,
go.
Sam again.
I'm
get
really
you
worried
back.
that someone takes my moment here.
I know, I don't want to go last again. Go.
My biggest moment of the year, biggest pop, I suppose, was Tommaso Ciampa's heinous betrayal on Johnny Gargano.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah.
you know what, maybe I wasn't screaming and cheering. That could be put into biggest disappointment. But my God, like in wrestling terms, that had me the most invested that I think I have been all year in wrestling. Just watching that, because I don't know, I really bought into these two being best friends forever, and it's just
It truly was heartbreaking. It was-
killed me inside. And then that scene of him sitting on the announcer's table at the end, just looking over him, just kissing makeup guys.
They did
Reaching
it
for
so
him.
well
He was
as well, where they-
reaching.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they displayed the little copyright logo in the bottom, so you thought everything was all over. That was it, done.
Yeah.
Killed that killed me inside a little bit, and that's wrestling at its best when it really has you invested.
Yeah. Totally.
I actually can't believe you brought this up so soon. So it's still quite raw. Raw for me.
I've been going to a lot of sessions to try and get over it. I still not there yet, but I feel like I can talk about it now.
What kind of sessions are we talking about? Drinking sessions
A lot of drinky sessions, a lot of boozy sessions with me and Johnny.
with Session Moth Martina.
Yeah.
Session Moth Martina, she's there.
Yeah. Good stuff. I'm going to go next because I can. My biggest pop was definitely, it was quite clear for me, because it was the only time during the whole year where I actually got actual goosebumps, and it was the Bate versus Dunn match at Takeover. And again, I'm not going to go into detail, about the whole narrative of the match and everything, but I think specifically, and this is really weird because I'm not a particularly patriotic person.
You only go to the marches occasionally.
Yeah. This is just stupid nationalism, really. But when the crowd chanted UK, 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 the fact that they were doing that on US soil as opposed to some of the other UK matches or done matches that have actually happened over here, I just felt really proud, like a really big feeling of pride for the two of them, the way that they've developed, and obviously seeing them on Progress and elsewhere beforehand. It was just a really great feeling, and I got goosebumps for it.
Yeah.
And I had a quick second backup one, which in terms of live wrestling, probably at Point Break, Riptide Point Break, when Jimmy Havoc jumped through the table before the match had even started.
That was a good one.
That was a huge pop. Great reaction. It was so funny. Yeah. So who wants to go next? Brett?
John, I can go last this time.
Okay. Carrying on with the Riptide theme, I think the time I popped biggest was when Pete Dunne turned up.
Yes.
Damn it, I
was
should have gone first.
Screaming like a maniac.
Oh, and I wasn't there. God's sake.
Yeah.
Oh, that was awesome.
That was great. Especially when he came over to Sam and did the little finger splitting bit.
Yes.
It was crazy.
That was so cool.
Have you got the bear tattoo on the back of your knee yet, Sam?
I've decided I'm going to get the bear's arse on the back of my knee so that we
Bear's
stand
arse.
like...
When you link knees.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That'll be our look. We'll be like the boss.
So you'll stand right behind him?
I guess.
You'll basically be spooning him.
Yeah, you're going to spoon him.
Okay, yeah.
That's
Let's
good.
get that out
That's
there
good.
now.
Yeah.
Brett, you had the same thing, did you?
Yeah, I had the same thing. I had Pete Dunne in a Lycos mask stepping into the ring. And obviously we all knew who it was. But yeah, awesome to see him there again because he's just so good.
Yeah.
Like any opportunity to see someone like of that quality like live in such a small space as well is just
Yeah.
it's so good.
I think it's so cool, and this is one of the greatest things about wrestling, in my opinion, is that you get people who are they are massive stars, and he's become a massive star, but then they still go and do these indie shows, and it's not only that, he's not just sort of coming out doing his bit and then going, but he's selling his merch, he's talking to the fans, he's having photos taken with him. It's so cool. And when you guys sent me the pictures, I was on a stag do. I was I popped just looking at the picture.
Yeah.
and then hid my phone quickly when one of the blokiest guys on the stag do asked me what I was looking at.
I have to say I had an honourable mention one as well, because it didn't really pan out long term, but when the Hardys came out back at WWE, for me that was like, I did really like pop.
They were really riding the crest of a wave, weren't they? Because just the night before they had been in a ladder match with the Young Bucks, so no one thought they were going to be there.
Yeah,
we were together for that, weren't we?
Yeah, we were.
Yeah,
that was a really good moment. Yeah,
that was.
Even though I'd forgotten about it.
What was great was the fact that the New Day came out and they were like, "We got one more tag team to add," and everyone's like, oh, "Great, it's the New Day." And then great.
Then you heard the
good
drums.
Swerve, guys. Good swerve.
Yeah,
cool. Subject number 3. I went for biggest disappointment of the year. I haven't gone first on one yet, so I'm just going to go first. Somebody who we barely spoke about earlier, even though he did appear in a match. Yet again, he was just a massive passenger. It has to be Shinsuke Nakamura's call up to the main roster.
Ooh,
I've got that as well, Adam.
Yeah,
because I love Nakamura.
Exactly. I mean, I guess the people booking him are mostly to blame for this, but his run so far has just felt sort of limp and lifeless, and we've had teases of potential. I think there were a couple of things in the Survivor Series match where sort of
he had a moment in the middle, didn't he?
Yeah, showing what could be, and no doubt next year, somebody of his quality has to rise to the top at some point.
So early prediction. I think Nakamura is going to win the Rumble.
Yeah, I think he might be certainly one of the favourites.
For AJ Styles at Mania.
I think it's because I think they're going to have the Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar Mania match, so that's kind of by the by. I do think it's going to be a Shinsuke Nakamura AJ Styles co-main event, but really it's the match everyone wants to watch.
I don't know if I'm saying that's a good shout because it's a good shout or because it's what I really want to see.
Both, I think. Yeah, I'd be up for that.
I have high hopes for Nakamura in the new year.
Yes.
Yeah,
very.
Fingers crossed. John, do you want to go second for a change?
Well, carried on with the Nakamura theme, my biggest disappointment has been Smackdown. I think there's been obviously some good points, but generally I just think creatively Smackdown has just been awful.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like any of us bleed blue at the moment.
No, exactly. I don't know where that kid was getting that from, but he's disillusioned.
Yeah, I can see that because like they've, I think they've totally wasted AJ Styles this year.
Yep.
And Charlotte. Like they've got two of the best people at the moment, and they've just not utilised them at all. Randy Orton's been like front and centre throughout the year, which has been, a big disappointment as well, I guess.
Yeah,
but it feels like WWE have favoured their corporate responsibilities over their fans.
Yeah,
and there's no surprise there.
The tag division has been the only bright
I was going to
point.
say that's a saving grace for sure, but that's particularly since the New Day moved over.
Yeah,
that obviously wasn't the case beforehand, and they had just a ramshackle selection.
Yeah, it was really weird, and then the Usos changed up and stepped up, and New Day came.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's just every time there's been a SmackDown only pay-per-view, it's just been, we've got to watch this SmackDown pay-per-view.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Okay. Biggest disappointment, Brett?
Mine was Nakamura on the main roster.
Oh, it was as well?
Yeah. That's what I had. It's total agreement with you.
Yeah, good.
So...
Yes, Sam, go for it.
Biggest disappointment was the untimely breakup of strange tag teams with American Alpha and Enzo and Cass. Just
okay.
Why have they done that? What are they thinking? I mean, at least something good has come out of Enzo and Cass, but that's literally only because Big Cass has been injured.
Well, we don't know what would have happened. I mean, we had a little idea, but something good could have come out of their feud, and who knows what Big Cass would be doing now? Probably holding a belt, knowing WWE, but
yeah.
More about American Alpha, to be honest. That was
such a good
decision.
tag team. Yeah.
It just feels like wasted potential. I hope they go back to it at some point soon.
They didn't even give him a chance, did they, either, which was weird.
No.
They did get the belts at one point, didn't they?
Like straight away, and then they dropped him, and then they just I don't know what they were after that fodder.
Yeah. They must have just had this whole Kurt Angle,
yeah,
Right,
already in mind, and then they just thought, well, it's so good, to hell with American Alpha, but unfortunately, it hasn't turned out well.
No, not at all.
Okay, so the last category of the 4 is New Year's Wrestling Resolution. So this is just a chance for each of us to talk about the things that we would like to do in the new year relating to wrestling, or see, or achieve, or witness, or whatever. So who hasn't gone first yet? John, you haven't gone first, have you?
Okay, great. I was hoping you weren't going to choose me because I haven't got anything written down for this.
New Year's resolution: get better at podcasting.
Just say you don't believe in them, John.
What was your end game?
So my New Year's resolution is going to be quite dull. It's just to go see more wrestling, actually, especially sort of Rev Pro. I haven't been to a Rev Pro show yet.
That's on my list.
Incredible cards. So yeah, I definitely want to go to more Rev Pro events.
Good shout. I think you should add improve at preparing for podcasts, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, I'll add that to the list. Thanks, Adam. Thanks for your notes.
Adam, have you got feedback for all of us?
Yeah, we're going to do end of year feedback after the pod is finished recording. Maybe we'll release that as a special, actually.
You did give us this end of term vibe plus report card.
Yeah. It's going to be like the Bleacher Report. You're going to get a grade out of A. Out of A. Oh, God. Here I am trying to be high and mighty.
Out of A. I want a Meltzer rating.
No. I'm going to give you a, B, C, or D, and a few bullet points on highlights from your first 4 months podcasting, and then go from there.
Okay.
Brett, have you got a New Year's resolution?
Yeah, well, you say John should prepare, but without preparing, he had the same as me. So,
okay.
Yeah, for me, get to a Rev Pro show, but one with the New Japan guys there. And get to a Fight Club Pro show as well.
Nice.
Can I add to mine?
Oh, have you prepared something?
No, just thinking out. I want a selfie with Suzuki by the end of next year.
There you go then.
Suzuki selfie. Okay, nice. Sam?
I want to be put through a table.
Boom.
That's what I want over the next year at some point. In fact, I don't even want to know when it's going to happen. I just want to come home and just someone lifts me up and I get 3D'd through a table, and 2018 goals.
See, Sam, I think if that did happen, you would shit.
Probably.
As soon as your body hit that table, your bowels would relax and you would just shit everywhere.
Yeah.
Sam tends to do that when he sits down.
Yeah. So. Those curries got to go somewhere.
I mean, let's be honest. The chances of that happening when we all get together are probably higher than when you just come home.
Sure,
because we're getting together for the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
In fact, we're getting together at my house. Our dining table's a bit sturdy and probably a bit too expensive to chuck you through. But we've got
plaster tables for like being.
Trestle. We've got a trestle table, wallpapering table.
Let's workshop this.
Nice.
We'll get together and we'll sort this all out. And
are we thinking like a Shield power bomb? Because we could get all three of us.
Ideally, I wanted it to be a 3D, but you know what? I'm happy with a shatter machine or a Shield power bomb. Just surprise me, guys.
No offense, Sam, but I think if we try and do a 3D on you, that's probably a bit ambitious considering we're not trained.
Yeah. Okay. We'll start thinking about this, and obviously we'll be sure to film that. And unless something horrendous happens and he ends up decapitated or something, we'll share it. Mine is to go shooting with Braun Strowman.
Oh, good one.
I want to get a flight out to the Deep South or wherever it is that he comes from. Probably go for a meal at a cafe. I don't know if you've seen his Instagram, but he likes going for massive meals. Get a massive stack of pancakes, 3 or 4 chickens, a few omelettes.
He looks like a man who'd enjoy a steak.
Yeah, exactly. A couple of steaks, and then go out to a shooting range. And while he's firing off, these semi-automatic weapons, might have a go with a pistol or something.
Have you ever fired a gun? Have you?
No, I've never fired a gun, and actually,
would you want to do it in front of your idol like that? I mean,
I have a horrible feeling this would be a bit like "Don't Meet Your Heroes," Adam.
Okay, maybe I'll just pass him the bullets.
Yeah, I think you'd be good at
that.
Could be quite awkward as well when you go around his house. He's got a massive Confederate flag.
Yeah.
Hanging on the wall.
Yeah. it would probably ruin everything for me. But hey, it's my resolution. But in all seriousness, I did write Braun Strowman, go shooting with him. But then second, I wrote go to a Rev Pro show. So that's a common theme. So
Rev Pro, if you're listening,
hook us up.
Tickets.
Free tickets. They're definitely listening to this.
Four tickets. I want to go.
Well, you didn't say you wanted to go.
Yeah, you don't get to, Sam.
I want to amend my resolution to go through a table at a Rev Pro show.
Okay.
With Minoru Suzuki putting
I
you through
really
the table.
hope this comes back to bite you in the arse.
Oh, dear.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right, let's look at some listener stories. Or even better, let's listen to some listener stories.
Oh my God! Oh, nice spread on the apron.
So in the last section of the podcast, we will try and keep it relatively brief, but we're going to look at some listener stories. We asked online for people to get in touch with their highlights of the year, whether that be shows that they went to or interactions with wrestlers, maybe merch they regret buying or funny moments, anything like that. So we had quite a few people get in touch. We're gonna share these out to read. Heel Nick Payne, friend of the podcast, got in touch to say it's been a massive year for me wrestling wise. My first ever indie show was back in January after seeing the WWE UK tournament, and I've not looked back. Been to 8 indie shows since, with one more to go. I got to see Kyle O'Reilly about 3 weeks before his NXT debut. That's pretty cool.
That's very cool.
It's a great effort.
Yeah, that is good, isn't it? He went on to say, so much for me has changed on my first show. Travis Banks debuted at Rev Pro. I thought, look at him, he's no good, he's too small. Obviously, I know very different now and feel that 2017 was the year of Travis on the indie scene. Never been happier to be wrong. Which, one, I think is correct, but two, this was really funny because on Twitter...
Yeah, I saw this.
Did you see? Travis Banks actually got involved.
He did. It was brilliant.
Did he... I don't know if he actually linked... actually used Travis's Twitter handle on there, but somehow Travis saw it and was like, oh, sorry, shame you thought I was too small. I didn't actually think that was the thing. And then I think a few people responded going, oh, that's ridiculous, doesn't matter what size you are.
Yeah.
And Nick had to sort of, clarify and say, this was my first show. I didn't really know much at the time.
We haven't had the year of Hornswoggle yet, so...
Yeah.
The sentiment was lost a bit, wasn't it?
It was. It all came from a good place.
Yeah.
And Nick Payne also said, I can't pick a show, but Matt Riddle has never let me down. Seeing him versus Shibata, Ishii, El Desperado, Suzuki, and Zack Sabre Jr. impressed me every time. Getting to see Shibata was an honour too, considering his injury. Oh, and basking in Keith Lee's glory was pretty awesome. I'd agree with that. I haven't ever seen a bad Matt Riddle match. In fact, I haven't seen an average Matt Riddle match.
He's a great talent.
Yeah,
I love Matt Riddle. I really do.
Sam, have you got one?
Yeah, so Dastardly Duncan's been in contact with us. Had 2 tickets to a WWE event, but his mate couldn't make it, so he took his mum, which, great choice, I think. I would do the same if my friends couldn't make it.
That's hilarious.
She said she wouldn't deliberately choose to go again, but it was enjoyable to see what it was like, which tactfully means she hated it.
Yeah.
I don't think I get that same interpretation. Do you guys? Wouldn't deliberately choose to go and see it again. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I think just, being nice to her son. So, it was lovely, thanks so much, but secretly thought it was a load of bollocks.
He also said his daughters like Bailey, so now they think Grandma is super cool as she's seen her in real life. So that's awesome. That's amazing.
That's a nice story.
Yeah. Keeping it in
nice.
the family. Generations of wrestling fans.
Very nice. Brett?
Yeah.
You got one?
Yeah, so I've got one from Scott from @LBC Pod, which is Life by Committee podcast. Best show I attended this year was WXW 16 Carat Final with Walter versus Ilya Dragunov. Really regret buying a Vaudevillains tee in the WWE shop during the sale.
Oh my god.
And funniest interaction would be Chris Brooks drenching me with a full bottle of water at an Attack show at the Frog and Fiddle.
That sounds very Chris Brooks.
Jealous of getting to an Attack show as well.
Yeah, that's cool.
That Vaudevillains t-shirt is now going to be a collector's item, so don't get rid of it, Scott.
John?
Okay,
You got one?
Yeah, I got Will Superkick. He said the best show I attended this year is Riptide. Yay!
Yeah.
Any of them, to be honest, they've all been great. If I had to pick, then maybe Riptide Returns steals it for the ludicrously stacked card with British Strong Style, Mighty Squirrel, Jimmy Havoc.
That was a great show.
Yeah, that's one before I started going.
Yeah, only Brett was there for that one.
Yeah, I couldn't get any of you to come along. I was like, but British Strong Style are there.
But we still weren't committed to this whole wrestling thing at this point.
Yeah, we're like, whatever.
Yeah.
He also goes on to say interactions with wrestlers are mostly polite, conversations with wrestlers after shows, except the time with Session Moth pulled me forward in the front row for a wee dance during her entrance. I think I remember that.
Yeah, actually, I saw that one come in on the Twitter, and I saw a couple of people reply to it going, "Oh, I sort of got a bit confused there when you said we dance." I'm guessing Will means a small dance rather than
a wee dance.
than Martina weeing all over him, but who knows?
Who knows? Yeah.
Who knows? We got a few more as well that I'll read. Beth Taylor on Twitter said that she got beach balls thrown at her by Chris Brooks during Chuck Mambo's entrance at Riptide. Chris Brooks coming up again, causing
enjoyed that
mischief.
match a lot, like the phone call spot they did.
Yes,
that was funny. Broken But Glorious Pod, BBGW Pod on Twitter, said that he enjoyed meeting Bubblegum and Tyson T-Bone at a Wrestle Island event, and he sent through a few photos of that as well, so you can probably see those on our Twitter.
Nice.
And then the final one that I've got is another one from Heel Nick Payne, which he sent separately, where he said that last Friday, so I think it's actually the Friday before last now, my brother met Cody Rhodes, and Cody was telling him that Trent Seven was telling everyone that his wrist tape was given to him by Randy Orton. Cody said that he texted Randy, and Randy wasn't even sure who Trent was, let alone gave him the wrist tape.
That sounds like Randy Orton selling someone up the river.
I think that's true, just because that sounds so Randy Orton.
Yeah, would Randy Orton remember anyone?
Yeah.
No, probably not.
Who is this John Cena?
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's asleep all the time. Sleep in his hammock.
That is hot wrestling goss, straight from Hardest Part of the Ring.
Nice.
Sam, you were saying you had a little anecdote, which wasn't from last year.
We've had our friend Gripton get in contact with us. When I was a kid, I went to see Giant Haystacks and Big Daddy fight. Afterwards, the papers interviewed my mum, and she said something like, "It's all a bit stupid, I just bought the kids." But then in the paper, they just made up whatever they wanted and put her name and photo to it. And it said something like, "I'm crazy about wrestling. I come to all the shows and I love seeing these big men fight it out." So apparently she was...
That's my Twitter handle, actually, Big Men Fight Out.
Yeah, apparently she was really pissed off, but, you know.
Oh, I'm not surprised. I wonder if she still got that cutting.
Yeah.
'Cause, you know,
That doesn't sound like a British newspaper, though, does it?
Giant Haystacks, Big Daddy, amazing.
Old school.
Yeah, seriously old school. Well, thank you to everybody who got in touch and sent us a little story from the last 12 months there. Please, everybody, feel free to get in touch in future. We're always up for reading out any of your stories or thoughts on pay-per-views that we're reviewing or anything like that. I usually do it in the next bit, but Sam, why don't you give people the details on how to get in touch?
Yes, of course. So you can contact us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at Hardest Part Pod, or you can email us at hardestpartofthering@gmail.com.
Perfect.
You threw me there with jumping ahead in the running order.
I wanted to test you and you coped with it brilliantly.
Scared me.
We're just waiting here for Sam to slip up.
Rubbing your hands together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not today.
Oh, man, shoulder first on the apron.
So, in terms of the next podcast, we are going to do our first ever New Japan pod early in the year, because on the 4th of January 2018, we have Wrestle Kingdom. I think it's fair to say that you three are pretty pumped about this.
Yeah, I'm
Super
super hyped.
Yeah, this will be my first full, well, I say full, isn't it like 6 hours long or something?
It is long.
Very long.
Yeah, maybe I won't manage all of it, but I haven't really watched the full New Japan show. Just watch, the matches that everybody goes on about. So I am looking forward to watching that, and then we'll do a review pod after that. Then we're going to be getting together at the end of January to watch Royal Rumble at my house. So we'll record a podcast straight after that, and no doubt there may well be another top 5 or something else in between those two. As usual, we'd really appreciate it if you guys could share the podcast and subscribe and rate. Obviously, we started this podcast in August of this year, and this is the end of the first year. So it would be really cool as a sort of, I mean, it could be a Christmas present, really, even to us, if anybody out there fancied leaving us a brand new review on iTunes, giving us a rating and a review. We would really appreciate it. We read them all. Any new ones we get, we'll definitely give you a shout out on the podcast in the new year. So please do that. Feel free to, diss Brett's love of Baron Corbin or anything like that. I think that is it for now. So a massive thanks for listening. Happy Rusev Day, of course.
Happy
to
Rusev
everybody
Day.
out there.
Yeah.
Happy Rusev Day.
Happy Rusev Day.
Oh, and Merry Christmas.
What's Christmas?
Oh yeah.
I guess
It's bloody
that
Christmas.
as well.
It's bloody Christmas soon. And have a very happy new year. And if you continue to listen to this podcast, then that's a given. Oh God.
That was good. That's the end.
Yeah. Proper
Cheesiest thing I've ever said. Good. All right. Goodbye from me, Adam. Goodbye from Sam.
Goodbye.
Goodbye from Brett. Oh, I've mixed it up.
Ta-ra.
Goodbye from John.
Merry Christmas.
That was the hardest part of the ring.
That is the hardest part of that ring.
On the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring!
Happy Rusev Day! I'm sorry.
Was that your Paul Bearer impression there, Sam?